Well, hello, Tube. Today we got Herman Hesse's The Journey to the East. Just a slim little thing. Doesn't take any time to read. Herman Hesse, he was born in July 2nd, 1877, in Germany. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce the names of these towns, so we're just going to leave it at that. He died in Switzerland on August 9th, 1962. He wrote a ton. Um, Probably best known for Siddhartha, which is arguably my favorite novel. Steppenwolf, which is also fantastic. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1946 with uh, the Glass Speed Game, the Magister Ludi. So he won some awards in his lifetime. He fled Germany sometime after World War I. It wasn't like right after, but it was pretty close. He wasn't very liked in Germany. He spoke out heavily against the Nationalist Party. Fled to Switzerland, where he got his citizenship there. Um, while there, due to his mental health, became a patient, and the dog just ran right into the ottoman all this is sitting on. Go. It's a big dum dum. Go. Go, go, go. Anyway, I apologize for that. He's coming right back again. He's gonna do it again, I betcha. Lay down. Or just sit there and stare at me awkwardly. Due to his mental health, he became a patient of Carl Jung. Also befriended him. Carl Jung kind of showed him the Eastern spirituality sort of stuff, which spoke to him pretty heavily. He was also besties with Thomas Mann, and I have a book of their collected letters I should probably read sooner rather than later, because I've had it for a while. And when I do that, I'll definitely do a video about that, because I imagine it's going to be no end of entertaining. Let's see here. The Journey to the East. We follow H, and he's part of a larger group called the League, and they go on a journey to the East. Uh, the Some of the members of this league, you have Mozart and Plato. Don Quixote is a member, along with some of Herman Hesse's own characters. He throws them in there, like oh, Goldmund is in there, and I'm trying to remember the name of um, the ferryman in Siddhartha, but I can't remember. I believe he was in there. So you have like a little bit of a tie-in to his other novels, which I find, pretty cool. So at they're on this journey, and one of the members, Leo, disappears with some important documents. Because of this, their little group falls apart, and so we fast forward a little while, and our man he is unsuccessfully writing the story of the League and their journey. He's talking to a friend in this town, and this guy, he thinks he knows Leo, and lets knows where he is. So makes contact with this guy in a park. Gets all up in his feelings because this guy is acting like he doesn't remember at all. And so writes this Leo guy a letter, being all dramatic. The next day, the next day, Leo shows up in H's apartment and summons him to be judged in front of the League for his letter slash actions. And then what happens there, you'll just have to read the book and find out, because we're not about to start spoiling stuff for you guys here, and gals, excuse me. This was a reread. The first time I read it, the first couple of chapters, basically up to the point where Leo disappears, makes absolutely no sense. And then, it kind of turns into a normalish novel around that point. The first time I read it, I was completely confused, and I missed the fact that basically what we're reading, in my understanding, is the story that HH is unsuccessfully trying to tell. So I don't think it's supposed to make a whole lot of sense. And then, he meets back up with HH, and the story goes on from there. So when it comes down to, like, if you read this and liked it, or if you decide you want to read it and you want something else that feels the same, I would say Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse 5, because if you've never read it, it's confusing, and if you have read it, it's probably still confusing. If you ask me if I'm a fan of Slaughterhouse 5, I'd have to tell you no, I am not. So it goes. But I do reread it from time to time because it is just chock full of one-liners. But in the Journey to the East and Slaughterhouse 5, there's a lot of war references. This one, you have the bombing of Dresden, which is kind of the main flow. This one has a lot of mentions of the World War. I assume it's World War One. Who knows? It could be some fictionalized World War. I honestly, it doesn't really ever tell you so much. The reason why I think it's World War One is just because of Hermann Hesse's ties to World War One, and being so outspoken of the war. And I just realized too that my little notes, it didn't save when this thing was actually published. I believe it was published originally in 1932, and then not in English until 1956. But I could be off a little bit. I'm not really seeing a good set of dates. Here it was. I worked so hard on a little outline for these videos, and I still managed to screw it up. But let me know, have you read Journey to the East? Have you read Slaughterhouse? I mean, I don't know anybody who hasn't read Slaughterhouse 5, but I get kind of the same sort of feel, where you get some like sci-fi, you get a little bit of time travel, the Hermann Hesse is more spiritual, whereas Vonnegut is more kind of, anti-war, and so on and so forth. They're both anti-war. But I think that's it for this one, peeps. I want to try to keep these pretty short and pretty sweet, and kind of to the point, as much to the point as I can. And I hope you are enjoying these little chats. Let me know down below, like I said, if you've read Journey to the East, do you want to read Journey to the East? Have you read Slaughterhouse 5? Do you think, putting this as a kind of suggested reading to this, if you agree or disagree or whatever. And that's it. Cheers, peeps.